I used to believe silence could keep me safe. That if I stayed small enough, invisible enough, I'd be spared the weight of my family's disappointment. But silence has a cost, and I learned mine the day my father's name lit up my phone for the 5th time in an hour. The vibration rattled across my glass desk, loud, insistent, impossible to ignore. I stared at it like it was a ghost from the life I thought I'd buried, hundreds of miles away, years ago. And then came the email. Subject line: "Your sister needs you. Last chance." The words blurred, but the threat burned clear. Be there, or lose this family for good. I laughed. Bitter, sharp. Because they had already lost me a long time ago. I pulled a framed diploma from the back of my closet, the one I'd hidden behind winter coats for 3 years. Not good enough for the wall, I used to tell myself. But the truth? I hid it because they never wanted to see it. Mara Ellison, University of Chicago. Honors. That single piece of paper was the life I had built in secret while they cheered for someone else. My sister Claire, the golden child, the girl whose participation ribbons outshined my blue ribbons, whose one goal in a soccer game eclipsed my state science fair win. And now her wedding. A 14-day parade of perfection, draped in ivory silk and staged like a royal coronation. And they wanted me there. Not because they suddenly remembered I existed, but because appearances mattered more than truth. I should have ignored it. Stayed safe in Chicago with my 6-figure job, my independence, my hard-won peace. But I didn't. Because sometimes the only way to kill a ghost is to walk straight into the house it haunts. When I arrived, the old farmhouse had been transformed into a bridal palace. White roses spilled over the porch railings. My mother's hair was dyed a honey shade that caught the light like glass. She hugged me, quick, stiff, already rehearsed for the guests who would arrive later. My father didn't hug me at all. He handed me a clipboard. Programs need folding. Claire needs this done by 4. Claire appeared on the stairs, cell phone pressed to her ear, already frowning about flower arrangements. "This is the most important day of my life," she hissed at someone on the line. Then, noticing me, "Oh, you made it. Thank God." The caterer's threatening to quit. "Fix it. Fix it." That was always my role, wasn't it? Silent fixer. Invisible backbone. But then her fiancé walked in. Elias. Tall, polished, with the kind of smile that sells false hope. My father practically glowed when Elias spoke about his exclusive crypto opportunities. My mother beamed when he poured her another glass of wine. But me? I listened. Really listened. And beneath the buzzwords and the charm, I heard the hollow echo of fraud. Later that night, I found the papers, fresh refinancing on the house, tens of thousands mortgaged to fund Elias's so-called investments. And suddenly, everything snapped into place. They weren't just blind with love. They were being conned. I confronted them. Showed them records, patterns, reports. I told them his story didn't add up. That families in 3 different states had been gutted by men who looked exactly like him. But do you think they believed me? Of course not. "You've always been jealous of your sister," my mother sighed. "You don't understand business," my father sneered. "You can't stand to see me happy," Claire screamed, tears smudging her mascara. And for the first time in years, I didn't shrink. I stood tall. I told them the truth they had never wanted to hear. That I had left for Chicago on my own terms. That I wasn't some struggling dropout. They just hadn't cared enough to ask. That I had built a life without them. Their stunned silence should have felt like victory. Instead, it felt like mourning. Because I realized, no matter what proof I offered, they'd rather cling to a beautiful lie than face an ugly truth. So I walked out. Alone. 2 days later, the calls started. First furious, then frantic. By the 3rd voicemail, my father's voice cracked in a way I'd never heard. "Elias is gone. So, is the money." My mother's sobbing followed. "Please, Mara, we need you." And then Claire's text, "You were right. Please help us." I stood by the window, Chicago's skyline glittering like armor around me, and for the first time in my life, they needed me. But here's the thing. Needing someone isn't the same as valuing them. When I flew back, I didn't bring sympathy. I brought boundaries. I told them I would help, but only through legal channels. No blank checks. No rescuing their pride. And if they wanted my money, they would sign a statement admitting the truth. That for years, they had chosen one child over the other. That they had neglected me. That their golden daughter was never the only light in the family. They signed, with trembling hands, not because they finally saw me, but because survival demanded it. And I walked away, not invisible, not begging, not broken, but whole. It's been a year now. I mentor young women who remind me of myself, bright, underestimated, waiting for someone to notice. I make sure they're never invisible. My parents? My sister? We barely speak. Some bridges don't burn. They rot slowly until you realize you're safer building new ones. But sometimes, late at night, I replay that moment, the one where they refused to believe me, where Elias's mask almost slipped. And I wonder, if your family chose lies over truth, love over loyalty, appearances over you, would you still go back to save them? Or would you finally learn to save yourself? Because in the end, the scariest ghost isn't the family that haunts you. It's the shadow of who you might have become if you'd stayed invisible.